Hello friends, this is Sanjay Malode, Assistant Professor KDK College of Engineering, Nagpur. Today's topic of discussion is FP growth algorithm. As the name indicates, FP which stands for frequent pattern growth algorithm, right? So frequent pattern in the sense that we are actually going to find out the patterns which occurs frequently into the data set, right? So to understand why do I need to find out the patterns, frequent patterns into the data set. So the decision makers basically take certain decisions looking at these the patterns which are very frequently occurring into the data sets, right? So this frequent pattern growth algorithm will help us to find out the patterns from the data warehouse data so that the decision maker can take the right decisions onto it, right? So to understand this FP growth algorithm or to implement this FP growth algorithm, let us work on the question, and the question is, or the target is to generate a frequent pattern tree for the following transaction data set, for the following transaction following transaction data set, right? One more thing is being given into it is the question comes up with additional stuff, that is minimum support is equal to 30%. Minimum support is equal to 30%, and the transaction data set contains two attributes. One is the transaction ID and second is the number of items present into that respective transaction ID. So we have, let's say, transaction ID number 1, in which the items which are present are EADB. Similarly, transaction 2 contains the items DACEB. Transaction 3 contains CABE. Transaction 4 contains BAD. Transaction 5 contains D. 6 contains DB. 7 contains ADE and 8 contains BC. So in all we have 8 records present into the transaction data set that we have collected from the data warehouse database, right? So now let us find out the frequency of the items. Frequency of the items in the sense, if you look at the items attribute, in all we have the number of items present are A, B, C, D and E, right? So the number of items which are there into the item attribute is A, B, C, D and E, and they are frequently being occurred into the records, right? So we can write down as that the number of items present, just list out the number of items which are present into the transaction data set. So A, B, C, D and E, these are the 5 items present into the transaction data set. So let us find out the frequency of individual items present into the data set. Frequency in the sense that how many times the individual items has occurred into the data set, right? So if you look at the item set A, so A has occurred, let us count the occurrence of A into the data set. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 5 times the A has occurred. So I can say that the frequency of item A is 5. Similarly, check it out how many times the B has occurred into the data set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I can say that the frequency of item B is 6. Similarly, count the rest of the frequencies of the atom set. So C has having at frequency 3, D is having frequency 6, and E is having frequency 4, right? So now let us find out the priority of these atom set, right? Highest is the frequency, highest is the priority. But as far as this is concerned, the records here are concerned, or the atoms are concerned, the item B and D has the equal frequency. But so we will put the priority on first come first serve basis, right? So in this case B has occurred first, so we will give B as priority 1, and we will give D has priority 2, right? So then the second highest comes the A. So and once again the E has so let us write down the priority A has 3. Similarly E has 4, and the last comes is C. So we will assign the priority C as 5, right? So now we can say that in this case lower priority number, lower priority number means high priority. So in this case lower priority number goes to B and D. So it will the priority B is has the highest priority. Item B has the highest priority. So now order the items according to their priority. Order the items according to the priority, right? So B is having the highest priority, then D, then A, then E and C. So likewise the priority order now we have is B, then comes D, then comes E, then comes then comes A and then E and C. So this is how the new generated priority list, right? And we have one more thing in question given, that is minimum support equal to 30%. So minimum support equal to 30% in the sense minimum number of transaction, minimum support is minimum support is equal to 30%, that is given into the question, means that transaction minimum number of transaction 30% of it, right? So how will you find out the minimum support is 30% of the total number of records present into the databases, right? So if you calculate 30% of 8, so that comes out to be 2.3. we will round it to 3. So minimum support for this data set is 30% of 8. 30% of 8, as total number of record present into the data set is 8. So that comes out to be 2.3, and we have rounded it to 2.8, sorry. It comes out to be 2.8 and we have rounded it to 3, right? So meaning of this minimum support equal to 3 means that whatever the priority count less than 3, that we will omit from the uh, priority list, right? Once again I repeat, the priority with the number less than 3, that we will discard from this list. But as far as our priority calculation is concerned, all the priorities we have either equal to 3 or greater than 3. If there is any priority less than 3 comes up in, that we will omit, right? That we will discard, right? So now let us, by looking at these priorities, by looking at the priorities what we have calculated, right? Now let us generate the new order. So already we have transaction, then items, and let us now generate the new ordered items. Let us now generate the new order items, right? So now first transaction ID is 1, right? And items present into the, if we look at the previous table or previous data set, the actual item present into the data set is EADB, right? So now find out the order, new order, by using the previous items present into the data set. Already we have set it up the order. So order, the item B has the highest order. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So B is having the highest order. So what we will do is we will change the order of this B. In the previous case, the order of the B is present at the last, right? So now by using the new ordered list, the order of B is at the first position, D is having the second position, then A is having the third position, and thereafter comes E. So likewise we have changed the order of the previous items present into the transaction data set, right? Similarly, in the transaction ID 2 we have the data items D, A, C, E, B, right? So now let us once again change the order of the data items present previously. So B has the highest priority, then comes D, then comes A, then comes E, and then comes C, right? Similarly, we will change the order of all the number of items previously present into the data set. So C, previously items are C, A, B, E. So now according to the new ordered list, it has been changed to B, A, E, C. Similarly for transaction ID 4, initially it was B, A, D, right? So B is fine, the priority of B is at 1, but D is having second priority. So what we will do, we will change the sequence B, D and A, right? Similarly, transaction ID 5, we will keep it as it is. Transaction ID 6, D and B, so we will change it to B and D. Similarly, transaction 7, previous record was ADE, so we will change it to DAE, and finally the transaction ID 8 is BC, so we will keep it as it is, BC, right? So this is how the orders are being changed according to their priorities, right? So now we have new ordered items which has been generated from the previous items. So let us generate a FP tree by using the ordered item generated by using the previous items. So to start with the FP tree, at the root we will take the node as null. We will take the node as null. So now if we look at the first transaction ID, the ordered items are B, D, A and E. In the first transaction ID, the new ordered items are B, D, A and E. So let us start expanding the items which are present into the first transaction ID. So first one is the item B comes in, then thereafter comes D, after that A, and last is E, right? So this is how extend the FP tree starting from null. Check out the first transaction ID items, that is B, D, A and E. Similarly write down B, D, A and E, right? So now check it out for the second transaction ID. So second transaction ID has new data items as B, D, A, E and C. Now in the first transaction ID, the occurrence of B is first 1, occurrence of D is 1, occurrence of A is 1, occurrence of E is 1, right? Now we will check it out for the second transaction ID ordered item. So the order is B, D, A, E and C. So B we have, D we have in the sequence, then also A we have in the sequence, E we have in the sequence, but as far as C is concerned, that is not present in the previous list. So what we will do is, let us extend this sequence. Let us extend, because C is left, so we will write down C over here, right? So for the second transaction, the occurrence of B is second time, so we will write down over here 2. D is second time, so we will write down over 2. A is second time it is getting occurred, so write down 2. E second time it is getting occurred, so write down 2. And as far as C is concerned, the C is getting occurred for the first time, so we will write down over here 1. Now let us check it out for the transaction ID 3. So transaction ID 3, the new ordered items are B, A, E and C. So B is already present, so we will write down the occurrence of B as 3. Then we don't have the A immediately after B, so what we will do is, we will generate one more leaf and assign A to it, right? So B, A and write down, because as we have generated the new leaf, and the occurrence of A is 1 at this point, because we are tracing the A. So after A we have E, right? So B, A, and once again extend this leaf, generate, attach E to A, and similarly last is C. So occurrence of E at this point is first time for the new root, and C for the first time, right? Now let us check it out the next transaction ID, and the new ordered items are B, D and A. So if we trace the root B, D and A, the sequence is already present into the list. So we will extend the occurrence of B. So occurrence of B is 4 times, occurrence of D is third time, occurrence of A is third time, right? So this is how we have written the occurrence. Similarly, transaction ID 5. So transaction ID 5, new data is D, right? So what we will do is, we will, as D is the first node is not D over here, so what we will do is, we will generate one more root starting from D, and the occurrence of D we will write down as first, as it is coming for the first time. Next transaction ID is 6, and the ordered items are B and D. So B we have with us, So we will write down the occurrence as 5. After B we have D also, so we will write down occurrence as 4. Right? Check it out for the 7th transaction ID with the ordered items D, A and E. So we have already D in the sequence. So D, A and E. And write down the occurrence of D now. So occurrence of D is 2. Occurrence of A, where is A? So occurrence of A in the new list. So once again, this is new list. So once again we need to write down A, whose occurrence is 1, and E, whose occurrence is 1. Right? Last transaction ID is BC. So we have B at this point, and but immediately after B we don't have C. So what we will do is we will generate one more root and we will give the name as C. So here the C has occurred first time in the new list, right? So this is how we have generated the new FP tree or frequent pattern tree, right? Now the thing is so this is how the entire list has been the entire tree is being generated along with their priorities, right? So likewise, if you look at the priority which is newly generated, so the B is at the first priority, and the B is at the first priority, and the frequency of B is 6 and D is 6. So likewise, this and this frequency should be matched, right? So if you look at this, B has frequency 6 at this point, new generation. Similarly, D has frequency 6. This is 4 and this is 2. So 6 times it is being generated. Similarly, C has, you check it out, the frequency of C. So C has frequency 1, 2 and 3, right? As the previous frequency. Frequency of D we have already seen, that is get matched. Similarly, frequency of E is 4. So here 2, then 3 and 4. So this is how the frequency of the previous item list and the new item list should get matched, so that we can say that the new FP pattern which we have generated is going in a right direction, right? So this is how we can use the FP growth algorithm to identify the frequent items present into the data set, right? And the simple text, if we write down the text of these algorithm FP growth, there are 3 simple statements we can write down for the algorithm FP growth, right? So statements are frequent FP growth algorithm is mine the frequent item set, mine the frequent item set using an FP tree, right? By pattern fragment, by pattern fragment growth, right? So what algorithm says is mine the frequent item set using an FP tree by pattern fragment growth. Input for this is a data set D. Input for this is a data set D and a transaction database, and a D, not D only, what we need is a D, that is a transaction database. D is a transaction database. In our case, we have taken D as the transaction database contains 8 number of records, right? 8 number of records. And another thing what we need is the minimum support. Another thing that we need is minimum support. So these are the only two things we needed to find out the frequent pattern growth from the data set. Output of this is the complete set of frequent item set. Complete set of output of this is complete set of frequent patterns, right? Complete set of frequent pattern, right? So the target is to find out the frequent pattern so that we can use these frequent patterns to take certain decisions for the benefit of the organization, right? So this is all about the FP growth algorithm, right? Thank you.